Why, hello there, YouTube. Okay, so, I'm sorry I'm looking a little bit messy right now, because I'm in my pajamas, and I'm about to go swimming, so I'm wearing my swimming tank top under my clothes. Anyway, this little video is a little ranting video, about a little incident that happened yesterday at my job interview. For those of you that do not know, I went to my first ever job interview yesterday, and I'll probably put the link down below in this box thing area. And I was super excited. I wasn't nervous at all. I was just so happy. I was like, yay, I'll probably get my first job soon. Okay, I don't even know where to begin. This guy was like a jerk. He was the jerkiest jerk in the world. First of all, I had to drive all the way down to Buena Park, California, which isn't too far, but I had to face traffic. And let's see, the job I was applying for was in West Covina, California. For those of you that don't know where it is. Oh well. So, I don't even know why he made me drive all the way down to Buena Park. So then I get there, and I'm like, oh, hey, I'm here to speak to your manager about my job interview. My appointment's at 3, but I'm coming in a half hour early. So they're like, okay, we'll go talk to him and tell him here. And then they come out about like 10 minutes later, and they're like, okay, I'll see you now. And so I walk in, and he's already interviewing another girl. And I'm like, okay, I'll just sit here and wait. And he's like pretty much yelling at her, like telling her, like, oh, no, you come back when you are ready, even though he didn't sound like that. I'm just gonna give him that accent. So, it's like, okay, you're unprofessional. And then, he's like, are you Jasmine? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, you can sit down in the chair now. So I sat down in his stupid chair directly across from him, and he's got like paper like scattered everywhere on his desk, and he's got like piles of money, and he's got like 5 telephones and a store video camera thing. And in the middle of the interview, he's sitting there answering stupid phone conversations, and I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you? You're trying to hire an employee. Why are you sitting here answering phone calls one after another, you know? And he asked me a math question, and I'm not really good at math, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not good at math. And so he asked me another one again, and he's like, what's 13 times 5? And I had to like think about it. I think was it 65? I think the answer is 65. But I had to think about it, and I was right about to answer, and I was like, and he's like, yes, okay, yeah, you come in tomorrow at 3. And then I was like, the answer is, and he's like, hello, yes, you come in half hour. And then I was like waiting, and he's sitting there counting money and answering more phone calls. And then I was like, finally, when I got my chance of word in, I was like, 65. And he said, what? And I said, 65. The answer is 65. And he's like, okay, very good, that is correct. And I was like, you probably didn't even remember the question. So rude. And then he's like, oh, do you drive? And I was like, well, I have my learner's permit, and I should be getting my driver's license in about a couple of weeks. Then he said, I told you to come down here with your own car and with a driver's license. And I'm like, okay, you never told me any of that. And even if you did, I did not understand him over the phone. He had like this really thick Middle Eastern accent. So I was like, hey, if you're Middle Eastern, maybe I can like turn to the profile so you can see my Middle Eastern nose. But he still didn't catch the drift that we might be related. I don't know. But yeah, he was just really rude to me. And finally, at the end of the interview, he's like, okay, no, wait. He's like, are you in college? And I told him, well, yeah, I just graduated. I'm going to be a college freshman in the fall. And he said, okay, so you look for half-time work. And I was like, I will do part-time, but if you really need full-time, like, I will do full-time, you know? I will flex my schedule around. And he's like, you're lying. you want part-time? And I was like, yes, I want part-time, but I will do full-time. And then he kept asking me the same question. He said, stop lying to me. You're not going to get a job if you lie. And I was like, I'm not lying to you. I'm being serious. Like, I will do full-time if you really need it. So then he stopped, and he was just like, so when you start school, you're going to leave us. And I was like, oh my god, no! Like, I was just so freaking angry, but I remained calm, and I was like, well, maybe this guy's not so bad. Maybe, like, I'm not even gonna have to put up with him if they send me to West Covina. Like, I'm not gonna have to put up with him, because the managers there are, like, really nice. So then he gave me a business card with, like, a whole bunch of his store's names, like, where the locations are, and he's like, read those names. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, yeah. And he said, no, read it again. And I was reading it, and it took me like 4 times to try and like read it. And then he's like, can you travel? And I was like, yeah, I'll be willing to travel. That's when he asked me if I had my driver's license and all that stuff. And then finally at the end of the interview, he's all like looking at his paperwork, and he's like, come back when you have a driver's license. And I was about to explode in his face, but I walked out of there. I was like, okay, thank you, bye. And I walked my butt out of that hallway because that was so freaking rude. Like, you're sitting here interviewing me because you need me. I've got a great resume for someone who's never had a job before. I've had volunteer experience, so it's not like I'm, like, experienceless. It's so freaking, like, what the heck? How do you expect me to get a job if I don't have, like, true experience, you know? So I just put down my volunteer work. That should pass, you know? It was so freaking rude. Like, I was thinking in my head, like, you know, I am not coming back to you. Like, when I get my driver's license, I'm gonna drive past your store and honk and rip you off, because that is not right. You do not treat people like that. His name is Sunny. Who the heck names their child Sunny? Especially when he's not Sunny. He's frowny and jerky and retarded, like. Anyway, so I went to go find my boyfriend and his dad, and they're like, oh, how'd it go? And I was all like, he's the rudest piece of crap I've ever dealt with in my entire life. Like, I would never be employed for him, ever. So then my boyfriend's dad went and talked to him, and the stupid Sunny guy actually told him lies, and he's like, oh, well, she's really bad. And you know, my dad, or my boyfriend's dad, was like, oh, my daughter Jasmine came in and she was really rude, like pissed off that you said this about her. And he's like, I don't know what she told you, but she was really bad for interview. And I was like, okay. I just gave him 2 different accents in one video. That's okay. I was just so freaking rude. Like, I really wanted to do this video yesterday when I came back, but I came home really late, so I'm just doing it now. Really late at 7:30 at night. I'm about to go swimming. This video is 8 minutes long, and I only really wanted it to be like 3 minutes, so I'm sorry. I didn't get the job. But you know what? I'm gonna go to the store over in West Covina and tell them you work for a complete asshole. You do not know who you are working for. If you do, then I would not be able to work with you guys. You know, that's just freaking rude. Oh, and the name of their store is called Ahhs Gifts, like AHHS and Gifts, GIFTS. And I was applying to work for like their, like during the Halloween, their part-time Halloween store, and that's called Halloween Club. I'm never shopping there again. I'm never shopping at Ahhs Gifts or Halloween Club like ever again. Like, seriously, like, I'm just gonna walk past the store and flip the people off, because I've only had one good experience in that store, and I was trying to find a Hello Kitty purse, and they really worked their butts off trying to find one for me. But it's because they wanted to make a sale, so I don't know. Whatever. I need to go, guys. My pool is waiting, and I'm pretty sure I'm bored. I bored you. Not I warn you, because then that would make me your mother, and I am no one's mother yet. I hope this video didn't ruin your day. If you guys have ever had a bad interview experience, or if you've ever dealt with a rude manager, video response me or comment down below. And I hope you guys have a magical night. Or if you're in another country, maybe it's morning or afternoon. Okay. I gotta go now. My boyfriend is calling me. Bye, guys.